they fairies or are they leprechauns? I'm Jackie.
This has actually got less movie than Warcraft the movie. I'm Sam.
And you really wish you weren't on a bad movie podcast. I'm Justin, and this is Artemis Fowl on Sneaker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No one! Hang on!
It stinks.
Hang on!
Get to the chopper! Sneaker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Sneaker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the podcast, we got a movie from 2020 that was supposed to be in the theaters and would have been a SMAFA contender. Still might, because we don't know what the fuck is going to happen with the SMAFAs this year, because this may be the only movie that we get to see. But starring Dame Judi Dench.
Dame Judi Dench. There you go.
Dame Judi Dench.
I'm pretty sure it actually was Duty Jench and not Judi Dench.
Right. That's their pseudonym. And Colin Farrell, and then a bunch of annoying people. Directed by Kenneth Branagh. Sam, go!
Yes, Kenneth Branagh, the Sir Kenneth Branagh from multiple Academy Award nominations for his long cycle of Shakespeare films. So many considers Hamlet to be the best film version of Hamlet.
Who is that? That's not the one with Mel Gibson, right?
No.
Okay.
His is fucking long.
Yeah.
His is like 4 hours long,
Makes
but it's most real snooty people think that that's the best one. But and that he has the largest cycle of quality Shakespeare films, or his cycle is the sort of biggest of that quality, whereas most people consider the best Shakespeare films to be the Wells, Chimes at Midnight, and Macbeth.
Okay. Fascinating and exciting.
Fascinating. Yes, and we would also remember that Kenneth Branagh directed the first Thor as sort of his comeback movie, kind of.
Okay.
I liked the first Thor. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it too.
I didn't think the second one was any good at all. He didn't direct that one, and I was like, I wonder what he's going to be off to do. And apparently it was just get his shit packed in by Disney.
Right.
So three things are going to happen here that are really bad for this movie after it had already been in development hell for about 20 years.
Wow.
So the original novel, Artemis Fowl, is not really this either. Like, the author got a cameo and he said he's fine with the changes they made to it because he saw other scripts through the 19-year development that were worse. He said that the worst of them was this one that was basically just scary movie with elves farting, and he's like, they're not even elves in my book, they're fairies.
So like Meet the Spartans, kind of like.
Yeah, a bad non-Zucker spoof movie.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that would have been.
They were like, oh, Artemis Fowl, we made a spoof of Lord of the Rings that's just elves farting on each other.
I mean, it's not that much different here.
Yeah, well, I mean, which would be a better movie? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd probably enjoy the elves farting on each other for at least 10 seconds, where I didn't enjoy 10 seconds of this.
No.
Oh, I did.
We'll get to that later, Jackie. Let him wrap up here.
So Weinstein finally Harvey Weinstein.
Not Harvey.
Yeah, Harvey was when the, traction started happening on this thing, but because of how bad a guy he is, they had to scrub him off the production, and that cost a year.
So he was the producer.
He was the producer.
Oh my God.
This was supposed to be released in 2018. I don't know that some sources say that it was shot in 2017 and finished in 2018. Other sources say it was finished completely in 2018. It is really confusing as to figure out when Colin Farrell was added to the production, and that he seems to be hiding his involvement in the production at as much as he can. He's not admitting that he's even in this movie.
That's not me.
That's not me. That's not Judi Dench either.
James Judi Dench. James Duty Dench.
And he's probably was really, if he saw it, he was like, oh God, this is going to be so bad. And then he's like, well, I didn't do near as bad as Josh Gad and Judi Dench, so I guess I'm all right.
Yeah.
Or anybody else. Like, hi, I'm Colin Farrell, and I am not the one that fucked this movie up. Believe it or not.
And it's me, Colin Farrell. That's kind of what I do.
Farrell. Yeah. So they scrub him off. Then it finally gets finished late 2018. They want a 2019 release. Editing's a problem. Really what happens is this is the first time that all of the Fox futzers and the Disney futzers get to be in the same room.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then Harvey Weinstein gets pushed off the production. And so now the biggest group of idiots make a movie in editing, and this is what we get. Because it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
And here's how heavily edited. I guess Kenneth Branagh still got the film by credit, and maybe that's just so that he can command his salary. Because this is not his.
Right.
He would not do this. I'm sure he didn't do good, and it was dumb because the kid that they cast sucks.
Right.
But he wouldn't do this bad. And this is the product of people who couldn't have jobs anywhere, making a movie in post-production, probably rolling through several editors because the editors want to quit because they're like, I can't do that. They're asking me to make a hamburger out of a boot and the raw meat. And they're like, that's how it works because I know I'm a filming executive. They are the people that couldn't make a hamburger because they don't know what one looks like, even though they just had one 6 minutes ago.
Exactly.
There are people in the cast list, like high in the cast list on IMDb, that I did not see appear in the film because they were edited completely out.
Oh
People that had large parts were edited out of this film.
Ford.
Like, not Harrison Ford. I don't know these people. Like, there was someone that played his mom.
John
she wasn't in the movie.
Is in this.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, he could have been shot in this, but how long they took to make it, there may have been some test footage when he was still alive.
Errol Flynn.
On the editing floor. We actually shot half of the movie around this test footage, and then we decided to abandon it as well.
Right.
So, yeah, speaking of Josh Gad and Judi Dench, what in the hell?
What in the hell?
What in the hell? Like, I guess, and this is where I'm like, Kenneth Branagh didn't do a good job with this movie. He wouldn't have done this, but he didn't do a good job because he let them both do that.
Right. Which, like, I mean, I see James Judi Dench doing this bad because she has been just about in every SMAP for about the last 4 years. Now, this Josh Gad guy, he's not exactly a townie, but I mean, so it kind of falls on him. Like, dude, this is what you're gonna do here? Just like a big Jack Black with like the once upon a time, I'll tell you a story. Like you're fucking Jack Black Eastwood. What the hell was that?
They're both doing bad Batman voices.
Yeah, right.
They're both bad. And the thing that is, Josh Gad, half of his career is voice acting.
Oh, wow.
How does a guy that does so much voice acting make such a bad decision? Like, I'm going to do a voice that I can't keep together.
Hey,
because he wasn't keeping it together. His voice doesn't do it.
Right. He pulls a Nick Cage.
He can't do the growly thing. And she couldn't either, but they both tried. And then he even makes a joke in the middle of the movie like, why are we doing our Batman voices? We both suck at it. Right. Oh, well, let's keep going.
Yeah. Kenneth Branagh sits him down for the casting session and is like, just shows him clips of Jack Palance breathing heavy And he's like, I want this out of everyone in the cast. Everyone.
Yeah.
Do your Jack Palance.
And then he goes into the trailer and just drinks because he knows this whole thing's coming off the rails and he's not going to be around for it.
Right.
He's going to take one out of Peckinpah's book.
It's not even alcohol that he drinks. It's just bleach.
Yeah. The last thing I want to mention is because it was shot well before it was released, and the principal lead actress that plays the faerie would be either 14 or 15 when this movie was made.
Okay.
Which makes the budding love between her and Josh Gad's character highly questionable.
Yeah. Weird. Okay. And even if it's like, I don't know anything about this book franchise, but I'm assuming she falls in love with Artemis Fowl at some point as well. The kid, if she's 14, 15, that kid's what, like 10?
He said he was 12.
Well, the character, sure, but the actor is like 10.
He's probably 26.
Yeah, he's probably 26. I mean, this is a Weinstein production, so of course.
Yeah.
Get some, hey, we got Jeff Epstein making a fucking directorial cameo here, too. He was running the second unit, so you, fairy girl and 26-year-old boy, go hang out with Jeff Epstein. Ew!
Well, it's just like a whole thing that even in the movie when she says, like, you're 86 because the elves or fairies live for 1,000 years or something,
Sure.
right? So... yeah, don't do that.
No.
Don't be like, oh, look at this child who is an adult, because you know what you're going to do next, and it's what they do in Japan, and it's not okay.
It's not okay. And even if, like, even if they were both similar aged actors that grew up together, like, you know, like, let's just say Hermione and fucking Harry Potter. There's, you know, they're all pals and they grew up together and all that. Because they were the same age. Take all that out, that, you know, the characters or the actors are aged differently, but then you still got this problem with the characters being best. Yes, they look about the same age, but in the context of the film, one is clearly an adult and the other is a child. It is not okay in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's not. Also, you speak of Harry Potter because that's what's happening here is that Disney's trying to make everyone's chasing the next Harry Potter, right?
Sure, right.
You know what a key ingredient to like making the next Harry Potter is?
The story?
Besides not making a completely shitty pile of crap. There's that. But
story?
if the kid that is, I mean, this one isn't even a movie, you're right. But from the get-go, Harry Potter wasn't a dumb little dickhead.
Yeah, right?
This kid sucks.
I mean,
Artemis Fowl, you cannot get behind. He's a shitty little dickhead.
he's a
Fuck him.
shitty little dickhead. And my understanding is I read some of the reviews like of this and how, oh, you know, I mean, there's always that group of people, the fanboys that are like, oh, this doesn't hold a, you know, this is so far away from what the book series is. But apparently Artemis Fowl doesn't become a good guy. He's essentially the villain for the first 3 books or some shit until he has, you know, he goes on his character journey and he has all that sort of stuff going on. And then he changes his mind. It doesn't matter that this kid in this isn't the villain. The problem is that he's a smug little asshole that needs to be punted off of the entire island of Ireland. Like, just grab him, punt him, get that foot guy with the half a foot thing, and just punt him back to fucking punt him to France.
And this movie's essential failing is to not cover any of the ground that it's trying to cover. So he's supposed to be a super genius, but they don't establish that because they don't do anything, right? Like, the only time you see him do anything, like, with his super savvy, because he tells you, I'm a criminal mastermind, then none of that happens. And then at the end of the movie, he reminds you, by the way, I'm Artemis Fowl, criminal mastermind.
Right.
And you're like, you went to your house. Earlier before that, you were able to display pedestrian knowledge on furniture.
When?
Yeah, and then
he just walked around like a smug little asshole.
He's just a smug little dickhead, and nothing happens.
Man, France should build the biggest uprights that have ever been built so that they can just punt that kid through them. It's good. I know
Yeah.
you don't punt a field goal, but it's fun to say punt a child.
Sure. He does do some hot dogging on a dumb skateboard that's
Right.
got like one wheel in the middle.
God.
That's always great when you do the boat eye shot, right?
I'm
Right.
cool.
Like everyone knows that shot sucks, but they put it in the movie anyway. Why?
Right.
Why does that shot keep ending up in movies? Like, if you do it, I guess you should put up a graphic that says hot dog exclamation point.
All right, let's move on to Jackie. I want you to give me your description of the visuals in all aspects of this movie and the things that you hated as far as costumes, character design, all that good stuff.
The first one that comes to mind is I did not like that horsey man.
The centaur, yeah.
Yeah.
Horsey man.
We need to get The Rock in here. We need to get Dwayne to be like, fuck centaurs.
Right.
Or what is it? Fucking centaurs? Fucking centaurs. That guy sucks.
Oh, he sucks.
And his shit's so edited, you can't tell what's happening.
Right.
So he's just like a horsey man that gets saucy every once in a while. And you're like, here, there's that saucy horse man again. I don't know what he's doing.
He was prancing.
I'm a pony.
Yeah. And that was awkward. Like, what? Why are you doing that?
Some of the devices that the fairies have to use is controlled by him stomping his clippity clops. Like, that's how you turn it on. Do the prance. Pluck, 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 pluck. Oh, the machine's on now. Like, the keyboard's on the floor. Fuck off.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Oh, it's terrible. And he looks like shit. Like, they did a bad job on him. The matting doesn't line up or work. His body separates from itself in certain situations. And then, like, where you've got, like, something you want to dub out of Photoshop, but you're not very good, so you just take the blur tool and just kind of blur that one part. Where his body meets the pony is just this big blurred glob of hair that they couldn't fucking do because they've got the people from Cats working on this.
Yeah.
Thought Cats was a lot better than this.
Cats is a lot better than this.
Colin Farrell, I have no problem with him in this movie at all. He looked very handsome.
Oh, okay.
And his clothes were fine.
Okay.
Now,
Thank God we're talking
like
about
a
his fine clothes.
fun fact about the suit?
Okay.
The tailors brought in the suit,
Uh-huh.
and they're expecting to have to alter it because they've made it on, a mannequin that's his height, that real human bodies aren't as statuesque as this thing. And they put it on him, and they're like, holy shit, that fits. And he's like, of course it fits. I'm a statue man.
I don't want to talk about Artemis Fowl. He's just a copycat.
Yeah,
He's
little
fucking wearing his dad's clothes. Whatever. I just hate that kid so much. I don't even care. Anyway, so let's talk about the fairies. Leprechaun fairies.
Are they leprechauns or are they fairies? Is this Nilbog?
Yeah.
Right.
It is because when they first introduced the police force and Dame
the
Judi
fairies.
Dench, right?
Yeah, right.
She calls them leprechauns. That's how she addresses them. Leprechauns! And then they all turn around. But then later, they're referring to themselves as fairies.
I guess leprechauns are part of the fairy folk. So
Or
Maybe-
leprechauns are fairy cops?
Is
Is that what that is?
Maybe the fairies that are part of the police force and wear that green bullshit, maybe that's not their uniform. Maybe that's just all the leprechauns are cops, but not all the
So-
cops are leprechauns. I don't know.
Jackie, did you feel like these weren't really SWAT uniforms or military garb, that it was actually just pro speed walking
Right?
dress?
Yeah, like those jogging suits that old ladies have with the matching windbreakers so they can go fast.
Or like the downhill ski jump guys that wear those really wild outfits and that like fast helmet.
hmm Well, they did have some fast hats because, they looked like the ass end of a wasp.
Yeah, they do.
It's aerodynamics there. And I liked the idea of the little gems on their backs. I guess that's where the wings are at. But then they're leprechauns. Why the fuck do they have wings?
And if they're fairies, and like if it's the town of fairies, you got a bunch of fairies to choose from. why make the leprechauns who don't have wings be winged cops? Just say, hey, you know what, guys? I really appreciate you trying out for cop team this year, but you need to stick with the Lucky Charms because we've got wings. We've got fairies that have actual fucking wings over here that are better at flying than you because they actually have goddamn wings.
I couldn't figure out whether those were robot wings or whether they just have a robot backpack that lets their wings out.
I had that same thought. That's why I think that they're fairy leprechauns.
I don't think that they're fairy leprechauns. I think that those were mechanical wings because the other fairies that have wings didn't have like bullshit, like the when you blow a bubble with soap, that weird coloring, whatever that's called, the spectrum, I guess.
Shiny.
Yeah, shiny and multicolored. They just look like plastic fucking pieces of garbage, whereas the other ones that actually have wings on their back had like solid bug wings.
Or they were just too fucking cheap to give anybody else good wings.
Right.
They're like, yeah, you get the plain Jane.
I don't understand. Okay, are you done with costume talk? Got anybody else you want to diss on?
It really annoyed me that the villainous Opal, why is she wearing a face mask?
Because
what is happening
the
here?
sequel, Jackie. Because of the sequel.
I thought that was stupid.
Yeah.
The lady that points a light at her face all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't that like hurt your eyes, shining a light in your face? That didn't make any fucking sense.
No, it didn't.
It's her cell phone.
It's her cell phone.
And it's got 5G and it's giving her cancer. So she had to put on a face shield to get away from it.
So dumb, Jackie. Also, 5G doesn't give you guys cancer. Don't worry about that conspiracy. It's QAnon bullshit. But it's funny. It's funny, Jackie.
It is funny.
Just don't want to misrepresent it.
Yeah,
Get involved with the QAnon bullholes.
Yeah, and then somebody's going to be like, my dad died of 5G. I'm going to be like, oh,
Twice. He got it twice.
Right? Oh, God.
Yeah, so that was the only other thing that I was like, what the fuck is this?
Let's talk about the villain for a second. I know we're never going to get into this movie because there's just nothing here to fucking talk about. Let's do the synopsis. The villain, what's her name? Opal?
Opal.
Okay.
Because everybody knows that old ladies are villainous.
Right?
She's... And I'm Opal. And then when that didn't work out for her, she was like, I'm going to have to go all fucking domestic weird shit on your ass.
It looks like we underestimated the Artemis Fowl team. Let's call in our heavy, Gene.
Yeah. Opal's also like a cat that constantly gets stuck in the Lazy Susan pantry.
Right.
Opal's stuck again.
And am I the only one that thought her voice acting was just a shitty Gollum?
It was, yeah, but then they processed it to make it shittier.
Right. Like, I'll get you, Artemis Fowls. I hate fairies. They taste delicious. Fat little fairies. I will eat them.
Yeah, okay. That was weird.
Yeah, I didn't know what her name was, so I just in my notes the entire time it's Gollum. Because it's just shitty Gollum.
See, and I was thinking that she reminded me a lot of Voldemort. Because they don't reveal him for a long ass time either.
Right.
And I was like, oh, they're just building this up. And it's probably one of those angry little troll things from the prison.
Yeah. Like, oh, you mean a goblin?
Goblin, yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be like, well, it's not going to happen. We're never going to know because this franchise is done before it even started. But like what they were intending was like the big reveal is it's not anything. It's just fucking like pull off the face mask and there's some sort of semi-famous actor and hey, that's the big reveal.
It's Van Damme.
Yeah, it's fucking...
He does the splits on the wall and he's like, ah.
JCVD. Oh, that's double disappointing because A, I wanted a scary monster with a good character design. And also, JCVD? No, you're better than this, man.
Is he?
Yeah. I think so.
I think he would have fit in here great.
I would have made something.
Even though we were really singing the praises of Colin Farrell for not fucking up, just imagine if JCVD would have been his dad.
Right.
And this thing would have been all the way bad.
Yeah, I even if JCVD was in it, I would still need a goddamn fucking story. So are we ready? Should we try to do this? Because
sure.
I mean,
it's not gonna make sense.
It's
to
not
anyone
gonna be
that listens
entertaining.
because...
I don't think either. I mean, we'll make some jokes here and there, guys, but our job right now is to try to figure out what the fuck is going on. So,
yeah.
Well, I don't even remember the opening scene.
Well, let me do my job and we'll figure this all out. Basically, we get it immediately. We're at Fowl Manor in Ireland. This entire film takes place in Ireland, except for one scene in Italy and also Middle Earth. But there's a media frenzy going on outside of Fowl Manor because somebody has stolen the relics that are from another dimension. And the news team knows about this, and CNN's there, and Fox News is there, and they're like, who is it that stole the relics from Artemis Fowl Manor? And one person specifically mentions that these relics are from another dimension. So I guess everybody already knows that the fucking fairies are real.
They say that there's been a mysterious rash of museum robberies.
Uh-huh.
And then they say something about the relics being stolen from the Fowls. And then they say that the number one suspect is Artemis Fowl.
Right.
Yeah, I did not get that at all. I was like, so is he guilty? Are we trying to arrest him? But then I think he's in the car. He's coming home in the car. So I'm like, so they're not arresting him right now. They're just like, that museum in Kentucky, it had a robbery. I think we should just blame it on this dick.
Uh-huh. Who also got his stuff sold.
Yeah. They're like, you know what? Rich assholes sometimes just need to be taught a lesson.
Yeah. So he wanted to do it for an insurance claim, like a faulty insurance fraud thing. But in order to make it look real, he had to steal all the other relics from all the other museums. Because but these ones we know are specifically from another dimension.
And it's a weapon?
And it's like, the media knows too much. And so then we don't get any answers there. We cut to a guy named Diggum.
Is that really his name, is Diggum? I didn't think they ever gave him one.
Mitch Diggum or something like that.
No, it's mulch, like garden mulch. His name is Mulch Diggum.
And the only reason I remember is because we used to have this dog named Bingham, and the first time I introduced him to a friend, my friend is, kind of Captain Not Pay Attention very well. And he was like, wait, what's this dog's name? Is it Diggum? And I was like, God damn it, Diggum is a really good name for a dog. I wish I'd thought of that. So now my dog's name is this guy, Diggum. And that's what he does. He's a Diggum. It's so stupid.
And, as we'll discuss this later, I'm sure,
uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure that he should just not wear clothes.
Right. Okay, we'll deal with that when we have to deal with it. But Diggum's like, he's taken in as the primary suspect for the theft at Fowl Manor, even though the news is like, oh, it was totally Artemis Fowl, but we found this guy walking around. So he's then taken to...
He's an accomplice of Artemis Fowl. They capture him outside of Artemis Fowl's car, which they let go into his house because he's not a suspect in his own crime of himself.
God damn it.
Yep.
And then they take him to, like, what's supposed to be Guantanamo Bay style interrogation place, but it just looks like the fucking place that Dennis Hopper lives in Waterworld.
Yeah, it's Waterworld.
It's fucking Waterworld.
They're like, can we borrow your lot today?
What the fuck?
And then he starts this thing where he's like, you're really going to wish that I'm not going to narrate the whole film, but I am going to narrate the whole film. So, and I'm going to do it in a shitty voice that I can't do very well. And this is the only thread that will be able to carry you through the things that are going to happen in front of you that you're not going to be able to make any sense of.
And the narrative is so bad that he, like, is talking to the interrogator through half of it. He's narrating the story to the interrogator, but then at other points he's talking directly to us. Like, we're in the interrogation room. Like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fairy Town. Wait, you're talking to an interrogator right now. And that interrogator is like, dude, this guy's batshit crazy.
He's like, this will be good for a training video later.
Yeah.
Or just, at the next staff meeting, we can just sit around and laugh.
This guy's fucking bonkers. What the fuck is happening right now? Why am I in Waterworld? All right, so he says he's going to tell the story of Artemis Fowl, who is the son of, he's Artemis Fowl Jr., and he's basically everything we've discussed. He loves Ireland, but he hates school because he's a super genius, and even though he's cloned goats before,
he made a spaceship and cloned a goat, and they're like, you know what, though? You totally can't skip 10th grade.
Right, you can't do a Doogie Howser. You got to go to regular old elementary. And he's like, I hate it.
Oh, you know what? We were going to let you become a super scientist, but you suck at dodgeball too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't even catch
Maybe
it.
you shouldn't get hit in the face so much, nerd.
Nerd. Get into this closet, maybe or get into this locker, because maybe they'll find some answers to science in there, you nerd. Hey, did you find the cure for cancer in this toilet that I stuck your head in?
God, you're mean.
Hey, can you find the Da Vinci Code that's written on the back of your underwear that I just pulled over your face?
Yep. I did. It actually. This is a nice touch. You wrote "you suck" upside down on the back of my underwear band. I can see that.
I give this atomic wedgie a 7.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, it's like a cherry on cheesecake. It's nice.
Other than the horrendous pain.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a little dickhead. We learned that. We'll go just skip all the introduction to him. His mom's dead. His dad is the Colin Farrell, a treasure hunter that the world knows all about.
He's an antiques dealer.
Yeah, but he also searches for treasure.
He has a weird obsession with fairies.
And is a fairy aficionado. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he just they're presenting us that he just likes the folklore of fairies, not that he actually goes and looks for fairies. He just likes that sort of Irish fairy folk mythos, and that's his specialization, because the world doesn't fucking know about fairies in the context of this film. But they do. I don't know. Dad's going on a vacation. He's going to go find some more treasure someplace. And the kid's like,
he's going to work, dude. He's not going on vacation.
He's going on a trip to go find treasure. I think that's a vacation.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
He's going on his regular gentlemanly adventures.
Right. Yeah. And here, again, the character is broken, Artemis Fowl, because he's this super genius who can't connect with anybody. And the therapist in the session is like, yeah, you're super smart, but name somebody you respect. You're kind of a little asshole. And the kid's like, I can't think of anybody that's alive that I know that I respect. And then we cut to the scene with his dad, and he's like, Daddy, I love you. Just stay here. I want a normal life where we eat grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. No, don't go, Dad. It's like, dude, kid, you clearly love your father. Also, what's with this, I want a normal family bullshit? This character is so fucking broken and contradictory that I'm already mad at this movie. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I want you guys to know, it's not the fairies that are pissing me off right now. It's the goddamn bad writing. But anyways, I digress. We get introduced to his butler, whose name I don't know.
Dom Butler.
Yeah, I'm okay, fine. I'm just going to call him Butler, even though the movie tells us he hates to be called Butler. Because fuck him.
He knows how to stick fight.
They tell us that he's this ultimate warrior dude. He's 7-time Navy SEAL of the year. He saved the president when the president was abducted by aliens, and he just jumped up really high and kicked their spaceship, and he knows how to use every weapon on the world. And then they cut to him, and I'm like, but he also really likes the donuts.
Yeah. If you are saying that he's an expert in weapons, I'm saying he's also an expert in pastries.
He can kill with them, but he chooses not to because he loves them too much.
He's gonna kill himself with them. His heart. His heart.
Like, who's this guy? What the fuck, casting director? And then Junior sees the next day he wakes up, sees the butler, and we get introduced to the butler, and then cut to Junior watching the news, and his dad is immediately gone missing.
Yep.
The next day.
And he's a fucking criminal. That's when the press finally releases that not only is this asshole missing, but he's also responsible for all of these robberies.
Or something.
Of himself.
Right? What did you do? Did your helicopter crash? No, he was on some fucking freighter and it fucking sunk. And like, what? Huh? Okay.
Yeah, they never talk about how he went missing. Like, they show a picture of a yacht. Like, maybe he's on this yacht.
But it sunk, I think.
I don't know.
They show a picture of his yacht, and they're like, sunken yacht. And you're like, that yacht in the picture is obviously not sunken,
right?
So this shot is like every other part of this movie.
Oh, my God. Help us. Help us. And then the phone rings. Junior runs and answers it, and the butler's like, don't answer that. Why? It's the phone. Is there something I don't
it's
know?
a landline, and I didn't even know we had it.
Right. And Gollum, the opal, is calling a landline from her fucking glow phone. Like, she's got his phone number and can dial it. And later in the film, he calls her back.
Yes, he just calls her back like she... I guess they had caller ID.
Right?
Yeah, he hit 411 right after the call ended and, got the deets. So he could call back later.
Is there, like, faerie cell service? Like, do they have T-Mobile down there? What the hell?
We don't even know if she was in Fairyland or if she's on Earth or what.
Right, I guess that's
She's
true.
just like in a dark closet, taking green cone selfies.
She's like those people that don't put their phone to their ear. They just like yell at the front of it. No, I'm here. I'm
and
outside.
Then trip over shit.
Yeah, and then her
Knock
brightness
somebody's water over. No, I just got here. Where are you? Hold on. Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on. He can't hear you because you know how to use a phone.
It's not a fucking walkie-talkie, dummy. All right. So she has said that she's kidnapped the dad, and there's Colin Farrell, and he's stuck in some goo. And she wants the Oculus, which is in 3 days, so she can play VR.
I was going to make an optometrist joke, so we'll just go with yours. And then she was like, is this better or is this better?
Camera 1 or camera 2? Start from the top of the chart with one eye and read down from left to right.
Yeah.
E, F, P.
That's when the butler's like, repeat to me every word exactly. And he's like, I don't know about you. I'm like, that is not what he just asked, kid.
Right?
Something about an Oculus. Oh, no. Like, if your life depended on it right now, you'd be dead, stupid.
The Quest or the
You're
Rift S? Which one? We need to know which Oculus.
Like, yeah, but like the most grave importance that you repeat to me exactly what she just said, and he just doesn't do it.
Right. Okay,
and
kid.
then we get to see what the Batcave looks like if Martha Stewart was Batman.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they take him down to the fucking relic room that's in the basement, and he's like, check out this stuff that your dad has. And he starts opening up these containers, like these wall bookshelves that slide out, like he's like kind of Tony Starky. But inside are relics that pretty much just look like the perfume counter at Macy's. Like all that shit that's behind the perfume lady, that's what this they've just got fucking fairy perfume here. Relics? Those aren't relics. They're bottles filled with liquid.
I was thinking that he had a gen farm.
Right?
I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. Like,
Couple
wow,
of
your dad's a real
bottles of-
drunk.
Couple of bottles of Paul Mitchell in there.
Look, I've seen the Indiana Joneses. I know what relics look like. They look like the Cross of Coronado or the Holy Ark. This just looks like fucking like vodka bottles, guys. What the shit, props?
They did, like, art department. Good job.
Yeah, fuck.
Like, what did Kenneth Branagh do here? Like, how disappointed he's when he's like, that's seriously just bottles of water.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them. It's like there's kind of a lot of them for one shelf.
And they're
what the fuck, guys?
They're like, well, how are we going to find your dad? There's all this stuff, but I've never read his journal. Let's try his journal. Well, where's his journal? I don't know. I've never seen it. How are we going to find it? Where are we going to start? Well, we're not going to start. We're going to finish, because he told me something that's the end of this mystery every night for all my life. And he told it to me right before I left. And it's this Irish fucking poem, blah, blah, blah. And it comes from this book that nobody even knows who wrote it. It called The Blessing of Ireland or some shit. So I'll go look for The Blessing of Ireland. He opens up the book. It's not fucking Blessing of Ireland. It's his goddamn dad's journal. So why didn't he just know the fucking his dad's journal is in this one copy of the book that I read all the fucking time that I already know about? Like, you're fucking smart. No, this movie's just bullshit, you dumb kid.
Also, it breaks the whole secret drawers, because one row of secret drawers turns into a whole shelf, but it's labeled differently as if it's not a single shelf, but other drawers open up individually. So there's no way to keep track of anything that's in those secret drawers.
And the only line in there is time to believe. So the kid's like, I guess that means it's time to believe in fairies. So I'm in, Dad. Doesn't tell me where you are or what to do, but I guess I believe in fairies now, so let's go. Oh, boy. And we go down to the audience goes to now Fairyville, as I said, bad diegetic there. And Diggum's down there, and he's like, hey, I'm a dwarf, but I'm really big, so people don't like me. Like, there's some discrimination and stuff on there. Cool, fine.
Yeah.
But he's going to jail because he's a perennial digger, and he can't stop digging for treasure and stealing stuff.
I'm getting discriminated against because I'm a fat white guy. Wait, no. Let me hit on this 14-year-old. That's what happens in that scene.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super creepy. And he pickpockets her.
Yeah.
He steals her slow jams.
Yep. Because she's got fucking Foreigner. Like, how would she have Foreigner on tape? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. I know that they're like, oh, we'll kind of try to turn him into fucking Star-Lord. What the shit? Why do it? No. God damn it. Everything sucks here, guys. All right. So Opal enlists a spy to infiltrate the fucking police department and fuck shit up from the inside and report back to her. We got to know that. It's some dude. We don't care who he is or what.
Yeah. The guy who's been fired for being slimy 6 times. I've been reinstated. Oh, weird. I guess you're not gonna, screw everything up. You're not evil. Totally fine.
And they back upstairs. Artemis is like, hey, I know something about this mountain, and there's a fairy that comes there every now and then. So we're going to go there. And he's like, wait, how do you know about this fairy that goes there every now and then? And this whole time you've been like, fairies don't exist, Dad. That's bullshit. Well, stop telling me the fairies exist. But now you're like, yeah, all right. It turns out that there was this one that we went and saw quite a bit. So let's go see this one. So they go to this mountain.
60 days later.
Yeah, right?
He's finally just cut to... Fuck, it took forever to get to this point.
Oh, I know. And it's still not there yet. I mean, there's a troll that's loose.
Loose troll.
Walked up.
So now we get the Men in Black bullshit.
Oh, we get the fucking Men in Black bullshit. Judi Dench is like, get up there, kid. Officer Short, do something about this rogue troll. How does the troll get up there? Maybe start with we've got escaping trolls problem. We need to seal up the troll town. What the fuck? Does it just live up on Earth? Where the hell did this troll come from?
It came from Troll Town, I guess.
Under the bridge?
If there is Troll Town, I guess they're only worried about the trolls escaping so that people find out about Troll Town, because maybe they'll find out about them. Because if there's his own Troll Town, then they should be like, fuck that place. There's a bunch of trolls there.
Right.
Let them do whatever.
Yeah.
But if the troll lives among them, then trolls just roam the fairy city eating fairies.
Exactly. It doesn't line up at all. And this troll's whole motivation is just to go fuck up a fucking wedding. And nobody even notices the troll at first. It's like thunk, thunk, Hey.
Like, oh, get in line like everybody else, you son of a bitch.
There's not enough cake to go around.
And so fucking Short, our elf lady, like their travel system doesn't make sense as well, because she gets into like one of those like things that you put your check in and then give into the bank like it's a pneumatic pill that shoots her out of a fucking volcano.
Yeah. She gets shot out of a volcano that's got to be nowhere around where she needs to go.
Right.
Then gets there with her wings, I guess. Saves the day, sort of. At one point, the troll grabs a child, and she, through acrobatics that are not exciting or fun to watch, is able to save the kid. And then Commander Judi Dench in her Batman voice is like, "Don't use your magic on the human." And she does anyway, because she's like, oh, she's hurt. And she's like moderately hurt. And right when she says that, the troll like Hulk slams a dude through a table and probably kills him.
Oh, that guy's spleen ruptured.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Many fractured ribs punching through his lungs. Yeah, no, he died.
And she's like, ooh, you got a boo-boo. Let me use fucking fairy magic on it. Your dad is dead.
But here's some ice cream.
Yeah. Gives her an ice cream after her father was smashed in front of her.
So they have mind-wiping powers like the MIB do, but they also have time freeze.
Time freeze.
Bomb
because this is
things?
going to come back. Well, actually, it's not. But right now they freeze time so that she can easily get the troll out of there and then mind wipe everyone inside of the bubble of safety that the time freeze has done.
Which is just the wedding area. What about all the people that saw this troll fucking running through town that weren't invited to the goddamn wedding, or this fairy that's flying around? Did NORAD not be like, hey, what, we've got something on our radar. We're at DEFCON 2. It's fucking Ruskies.
I am pretty sure that I've read that competitive speedwalking suits are stealth radar.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That
so
checks out.
if you are wearing a competitive speedwalking suit, you are not going to be picked up by radar.
What happens if you look up?
You'll see whatever's above you.
Right, which is a fucking flying ass goddamn fairy. Nobody looked up? She flies over all of Italy, Sam.
No, they're just like, man, the Green Goblin still sucks.
Oh, dude. I'll get you, Spider-Man.
Why Defoe? Really?
All right, so... Okay, so she is like, okay, that situation's resolved. I'm not going back to base. Sorry, shame duty. I'm headed to prove my dad's innocence. And they're like, what? No, get back here, dude. Where are you going? And she flies to the fucking mountain where Artemis and Butler are hanging out. I guess her dad, like this, like, written in stone. Hey, I didn't do anything wrong. It's right here. Oh, I've got the proof of my dad's innocence. What? Okay, fine.
No, I think that the only thing I could guess is that she feels like if she stares at that tree long enough, the answers will come. Because
Like
there's nothing, she does like, I'm going to go prove my dad's innocence, but then she just flies over and stares at a tree.
Yeah.
Until she gets shot by a tranquilizer, falls from the sky to her death.
It's weird that the fairy folk, for being Irish, really like the Canadian band Rush. Just going to stare at a tree.
Yeah, I know.
You moved on. I didn't have time to tell that joke because you just kept doing. It would have been funny, Sam.
I don't think it would have.
Well,
Yeah, nobody left the first time, dude.
well, because it wasn't at the appropriate time. I had to pick it up later. Bring in the time freeze.
Bring in the time freeze and bring Treebeard. He's funnier.
Okay, so she is bagged and tagged by Butler, and they take her back to the house, and Duty Jench is like, send in the team, the squad, we gotta rescue her. Before, you didn't really like this little fairy person, and also, you sent just one fairy to stop an entire troll from smashing all of Italy? But you're like, now, send all the cops. We got a ferry loose.
Yeah. One of our own has been taken. Those jogging suits are expensive.
And I guess Artemis sees them coming via science dialogue that doesn't make any, like, time can bend and warp in any way, so I see them coming, because of Einstein, and Stephen Hawking said something about it at one point.
There's really only a couple of important things that happen here. One of them, well, I mean, minimally important. One thing that's covered in dialogue and through the scene kind of is that fairies have mind control. And telekinesis. They don't ever use the telekinesis or the mind control, but we're told that they have them. So people have to wear rad glasses to be immune from fairy mind control.
Yeah.
Then they send in the SWAT team with the time freeze, which, starting now, isn't freezing time for anyone involved in the scene.
Right, because I was confused by this, and Jackie cleared it up for me. The first time they use a time freeze, time is frozen inside the bubble that the time freezer creates. This time, everywhere else is frozen except for in the time bubble.
Okay, that makes more sense.
It does, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. But here's the part where they just add stuff in post-production because Fox executives... Well, we have to have a guy in a fishing boat, falling from this tidal wave.
Right.
Yeah.
So before they use the time freeze bubble, the Artemis estate is about to be crushed by a tsunami.
Yes.
That's
correct.
There is no other, that's going to happen. And there's a man who has fallen out of his he's out there fishing. And if you're a Fox executive, that means that one person in a hat runs a commercial fishing boat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Right.
And he's falling 600 feet from the sky.
And also
goes
goes out fishing during tsunamis.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best time to catch Atlantic salmon, is during a fucking tsunami. Okay. All right. So they show up. Judi Dench is even there. She walks out of her little fucking transport pod and says, "Top of the morning."
She can't do it.
You can't even get through it, can you?
I don't think she could do it.
Top of the morning to ya. Like, what the fuck? God damn it.
And she's supposed to be this, like, tough old broad, but I don't buy that for a minute.
No.
She is, like, the worst.
Tough old broad
Yeah.
ever. Yes. Oh, my God.
She's like the
and
grandma.
she walks like half a mile an hour.
Uh-huh.
She's walking so slow.
They just had to start shooting around that. They're like, give her a hoverboard.
And here's where we're at, guys. Artemis, let's back up the plot here a bit. Artemis Fowl is trying to find a fairy relic to trade for the life of his father, who has been kidnapped by a rogue fairy. Okay? So in order to do that, he wants to team up with the fairies so that he can find this thing and get his dad back. The fairies show up, and he's like, fuck these guys. Let's fuck them up, Butler.
Yeah, they do. They're sort of like, yeah. And the butler's just like thumping on these fairies that, okay. If those aren't real wings that come out of a mechanical hatch, if they're mechanical wings and they're human-sized and they have pointy ears, that's just not a fairy. It's
That's
probably an elf.
Right?
It's not a leprechaun either. So they're elves with an identity crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God
Either
damn.
way, he's thumping them left and right, and their cycling garb is doing nothing for them.
Nothing. Like a kid and a fat guy are beating up an entire flying police force.
This is why they don't come out to enforce the, fairy business very often, because they suck.
Right? And the time freezer gets shot out. It gets short-circuited because Butler shot an arrow through it. He didn't destroy it, but it's like, now it's on the fritz, and there's a clock before the time bubble collapses, and we don't know what's going to happen when the time bubble collapses. It sounds dangerous. Let's find out later when that clearly is going to happen. And so she goes, and Judi Dench goes in. She's like, I'll negotiate with this guy. I want Officer Shortback, and he's like, hey, I want the Oculus Rift. Get me that. And she's like, no, that's never going to happen. We don't negotiate with terrorists. He's like, I don't negotiate with leprechauns unless they got a pot of gold and Lucky Charms. Do you have either of those things? Because I'm really hungry and I like cereal. She's like, nope, that's Kellogg's. Go there. And so she goes back to her little airplane thing and is like, send in Diggums. We can't go in there. We can't storm the place without being invited because them's the rules. Like, is it like vampire rules, or was it like some treaty that they made? No,
these are Anne Rice vampire rules that they're under.
But there's a problem with that, Sam, later that we'll tag that. We'll circle back to that. I'm not sure. So Diggums can go in there because he's not a leprechaun or a fairy. He's a dwarf.
Sure. He's a dwarf. Yeah. A giant dwarf. He's a fat guy.
He's like, she's like, tunnel in there, get short, but
so
he's not
you're forgetting the part
short
where he murders a man before he leaves prison.
Right. Well, he murders a goblin.
That's not really a man.
It's all the same, right?
It's a goblin.
Right? Isn't that like another 600 years or whatever it was?
Yeah.
He got 400 years for tunneling.
Mm-hmm.
So what's murdering another being in prison? What's that, like 2,000 years?
I call 20? It lunch. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys! Because,
those are definitely just Lord of the Rings goblins.
They're just Lord of the Rings goblins.
My favorite, though, is that they tried to make them, scarier by giving them gold chains.
Because
everybody knows that you're gangster, you got a gold chain.
Right, yeah, they're a goblin
fucker.
They're the goblin gang.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they're in a gang.
Mm-hmm.
And the warden did this on purpose to poor Josh. Because he was like,
dig him, you mean?
Yeah, dig him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the actor's name is Josh, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you were looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
Who's Josh?
Josh. It's a fucking Josh guy.
Josh Diggum. That's me.
Yeah. There should be, why is this movie, could have been just some guy named Josh that shows up. And he's like, hi, I'm Josh. And then
now
leaves.
I'm gone.
Did you guys order a pizza?
Yeah.
Like, Artemis
he's like,
is such a dick.
how are you doing? And he's like, yo, damn, it feels good to be a goblin.
But, if Artemis was this great planner, he definitely had a huge hole in this plan, which was not planning for a food break.
Oh, a food break?
Like, just to be a dick, he should have ordered a pizza when he knew that they were coming. And then in 45 minutes or less,
right,
all the fairies are going to get busted. Because apparently, you can just go in and out of these bubbles.
Right. Well,
it doesn't do shit to
unless you're on the wrong side of it and you're frozen in time, I guess.
So he's going to get his pizza for free.
What happened? Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I think that you're onto something here. It's like a checkmate in the negotiation process when you got the negotiator in there, because they're always like, well, we're going to get you some food.
Uh-huh.
You'd be like, oh, no, I already ordered Domino's. He's like, oh, shit.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. What do we do? Collapse the time bubble.
Give him what he wants. He already knows how to use the phone.
Oh, God. Jesus. All right. So the kid really he's like, this is all part of my plan. Dwarves love treasure. I read it in a book. They'll come in or he'll find the treasure. But that's not what Diggum's supposed to do. Judi Dench sends him in to bust Officer Short out there, little realizing that the only thing that he can do is go get treasure. Like, it doesn't make any sense from her part. But the kid's like, this lady's a dumb shit. Send in a dwarf. Come on.
And he begs to be 3 inches shorter.
Yeah, 3 feet. He wants to be a regular dwarf.
I think Jackie needs to describe what happens when Diggum does his magic.
It's so gross. So he just pulls his jaw down. It's like a really crappy Photoshop where they pull one side and then the other one and then they stretch it forward.
Uh-huh. So he has a big mouth.
Yeah, so he has big mouth. And he gets in to start digging. And then he blows it out of his ass.
He doesn't dig. He eats.
He eats.
Eats the dirt, Jackie.
Yeah,
and shoots it out of his butt.
That quick. So you know what? He doesn't have much of a colon left.
There's 2 unsuspecting fairies that just get sprayed by his ass dirt.
I mean,
And they don't actually get out of the way. They're just like, oh, stop it. You're hitting us with all your ass dirt.
I mean,
Wonder if they get hit by a piece of corn, Sam, and they lose an eye.
I mean, I don't even know what to do with this, guys. I can't.
It's so dumb.
I can't disassemble it. I know some man in a tie was like, "Oh, it's gonna be the kids are gonna love it."
Yeah, because he has the heart boxer shorts on too, which is also, that wah, wah.
This is this borders Munchie, Sam.
Oh, this is worse than Munchie.
It's worse
Everything
than Munchie
about
and the
this is
Flying
worse
Pieces.
than Munchie.
Oh, it's gonna get worse for this character.
No, I think that this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen on screen. This is he's a dwarf who eats dirt and shoots it out of his ass. Like, that's part of his, he's a machine, a dirt-eating machine, and
that likes treasure.
His ass is his exhaust pipe, and he's just shooting dirt. I mean, what the... You're in a board meeting, and you're like, okay, all right, guys, well, here's what I've got for us today.
Yeah. There's, he's got a PowerPoint and one of the easels with some charts, and he's like... One of them is a curve showing the disproportionate amount of dirt that comes out of his ass to what he's actually eating.
And the Fox guys love it. But there's got to be some Disney guys that are like, come on, really? Nope.
He's the shitty Haggard.
We're going with shitty ass dirt butt Haggard.
The Disney guys that were the ones that made A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, right.
I mean, these people are until the Disney Corporation realizes they only need half of them. There's about 20 or 30 people that don't know how to do anything right that are in hog heaven right now.
Oh my God. It's the worst. All right, we got to move on. I hate this thing so much. So he gets into the house, and the first thing he does is he goes in and he finds the hidden safe. Then inside the safe, it's not the first thing he does. He's a code cracker too.
He has nose hairs that can pick magic locks.
Yes. I was trying to wait for that one. Damn it.
I mean,
we had to rewind it because I was like, did you see that hair grew out of his nose? And Justin's like, no. And we rewound it and it's like, yep, that is just one hairy ass nostril.
It's a shame that they went in this order, because if I'd seen the nose hair safe cracker thing first, I would have been like, oh my God, that's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever seen. But I'm already so jaded by the dirt butt that I'm like, on the nose hair safe cracking.
Actually, the dirt butt was so bad that I was like, oh, the nose hair safe cracking is definitely the coolest thing that happens in this movie, and it sucks.
Well, my favorite scene is coming up next.
Okay, well, my favorite hasn't happened either, but inside the safe, sure enough, Colin Farrell just had it in his house this whole time. It's the Oculus, and it's this Fabergé egg that glows thing. Yay! Outside, the spy that we forgot about has finally taken over this operation. There's some the executors have called down, and they say you're not doing a good job, James Duty. So I'm taking over this operation. Dude, you were in prison yesterday. I understand that you may not, I didn't recognize you from being in my jail, but even if you were, your uniform says rookie cop, not chief guy who talks to the executors.
And nobody questioned that this dick has been in prison. And then all of a sudden he gets reinstated in his job and he gets let out of prison.
I know.
He doesn't, he just showed up and said, I work here again. And she's like, all right, whatever.
Where are the drugs?
The executors, has anyone actually seen the executors? You think they'd call you and fire you, not just be like, oh no, you don't have to worry about calling them. I got everything under control. You're fired.
Oh, darn it. And his plan is to send up that troll that they captured earlier, and they've juiced him full of like steroids and stuff. So now he's super angry and strong.
His plan is to recycle a model so that they can spend
Right.
less on special effects.
Yep.
So they use the troll as a battering ram.
There's a door.
Just fucking open the damn door.
Open like you can still not go inside and open the door and let the troll in, or just point the troll at the door. Instead, they strap him on a gurney and use his head as a battering ram to open a fucking wooden door.
This is right when I realized that this time thing isn't the midpoint of a movie that's going to have a big set piece.
Uh-huh.
That this is the movie's big set piece.
The troll?
Its whole sequence here inside, I was like, is this gonna be the middle of the movie? Because this isn't exciting enough to be the end of the movie, and
No.
it's not the end of the movie all the way. There is a far too long denouement.
I think the next set piece is the big set piece. This is the middle of the movie, Sam. I think you're incorrect of the tale. This isn't the big set piece. I'm gonna disagree with you there.
Okay.
But
Well, this is all still one set piece from the start
it
of
is.
the time gate through the end of the troll. Through
I
the
guess
end of the
maybe a
movie, right? Through the end
Yeah.
of the movie. This is just one scene.
yeah, maybe, but either way, it's pretty brief here with the troll. There's not a lot I can say. He just smashes the place up. They eventually get him taken down. I didn't even see what happened because I was writing notes, but Butler gets injured and he's dead.
So what happened is that they all jumped onto the chandelier and swung themselves to the other side
Mhm.
while Artemis is trying to free the
Right.
leprechaun
Yeah.
fairy.
Okay.
And then they all get downstairs and the troll jumps and gets trapped in the chandelier. The chandelier finally breaks off just as Artemis is getting ready to shoot this defenseless troll.
Uh-huh.
And Butler
With a gun
pushes
that-
them out of the way and gets crushed by the troll.
So what happens to the troll, Jackie? That's my problem.
Fucking dies because he fell with a chandelier that shoved him into his butthole.
I think he could handle it. Like
He's probably fine.
he's probably fine.
Also, Artemis was going to shoot a troll that weighs 10,000 pounds by standing underneath it
Uh-huh.
because he's a criminal mastermind.
Criminal mastermind. Oh god.
Also, the fairy super cop got stuck in a lamp through
Yeah.
the whole action sequence.
Guys! Dang it.
That is such a great way to describe that.
They're not here anymore. Well, I guess I'll just hang out. Hey-oh! Oh, there you are. Hey, I'm in a lane. Ah, damn it. Oh, my God. All right. And also, Diggums has eaten the Oculus for safekeeping. Eventually, they defeat it. Butler dies. He's injured and dies from it, from being smashed by a troll, I guess. Meanwhile, outside the fairies, the time portal is collapsing, so they got to get out, and they're getting spaghettified, it seems like.
Yeah. They're getting killed by getting sucked into the unstable time. We'll just turn it off.
Right?
But no, we'll leave it on. And then the centaur's
Or
like,
bring up another
I'm
one.
sassy. Also, this thing's gonna blow.
Clippity cloppity clip. I'm a pony.
Yeah, he was prancing again in this
Uh-huh.
scene.
But he definitely says that it's going to blow up.
It's going to blow up.
Yeah.
We're going to have problems, guys. We got to get out of there. The time vortex is collapsing.
It's 5G all over again.
5G's coming. We're going to have really good cell phone service inside of a small range, but people are going to think it's cancerous, even though they thought that just car stereos were cancerous in the 50s, because people are fucking stupid.
Lead paint wasn't, though.
No.
That was good for you.
Well, see, Sam, the
Use it
thing is,
instead of
the problem there is lead paint tastes good. So,
Rice Krispies have just never been the same.
yeah, forgive them for their sins. They know not what they do. Lead paint is delicious. So the fairies are outside, are like, one guy is like, no, fuck you, spy guy. I'm unblocking her magic because I care so much about what's going on in there. I don't even know what's going on in there. I'm outside. We got no clue what's happening inside that house right now. But I'm unblocking her magic. So she gets unblocked. She goes back and saves fucking Butler by doing 30 compressions while David Hasselhoff breathes in his mouth 3 times. We got a pulse. Yay.
It's a little Baywatch for fans that don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, I think everybody knows what CPR is, Jackie. So he's back. Then the time portal collapses.
And doesn't blow up.
And see, I think this is the big set piece, Sam. I think that there's such a break between the troll smashing things up in the narrative and the visuals that this is supposed to be like everybody in the theater going, whoa, look at all this shit that's happening. Because she's
but
like,
it isn't blowing up.
Nothing is happening.
Nothing is happening.
You're just following the short super cop bug flying through the air and going into like little bubbles and then getting shot out at the end of the little bubble. And she's like, whoa. And all the fairies are like, we got to get the fuck out of here. Run. And then it collapses and like a couple days go by. That's it.
It's about an hour and a half. And then the thing hits the ground and you're like, my God, we barely made it out alive.
It doesn't matter because she stops where, like, I guess Diggums went into the ground, and she looks back at the time portal that's now collapsed, and then the next scene, she's in the house and she's fine, so nothing fucking happened.
Nothing happens, at which point they're like, oh, that magic thing, I can use that as a teleportation device for us and the viewers to get to the credits.
Right.
Without doing anything. And that's what happens, is
That's
she
what
uses
happens.
the magic to save everything inside of about 7 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And then credits.
She teleports Dad back, and Gollum's like, no! Last we see of that thing. And, well, I guess not. And that's the movie. The movie's over.
No, they have to go
teleported Dad.
rescue Nosebeard guy. Dig him from
No.
Guantanamo.
That's not the plot, Jackie. That's a bunch of bullshit that's tacked onto the fucking front end and the back end for like seriously no purpose. The plot of the movie is a kid gets his dad kidnapped and has to get him back. The movie has ended as soon as Dad is back and they have the Oculus in their hands, thus defeating the villain. That's it. That's the whole fucking God damn it. It sucks so bad. But here we go. It gets worse, guys. The Super Cop Fairy takes the Oculus Rift back down to Fairy Town, and they're like, yep, all right, that's cleaned up. Now you get to be in charge of your own task force that sorts villains that are connected to Opal, because now we know about Opal. I don't know when that happened, but now we do, because Colin Firth came back and was like, hey, I got this piece of paper that says a bunch of bad guys are on, and they're like, cool, leads. These are the Glengarry Glen Ross leads.
Yeah. He actually opens them up, and it's really well made art, and I'm like, that's actually from the StarCraft board game.
Right.
Those aren't leads at all. The leads must be in your other pocket. You should put that back with the game, though.
And so then we cut to the beginning of the movie where the press is outside the manor because now they know that he's a thief and he is back in his house after being missing and sucked through a portal. They're like, oh, okay, that checks out. Hey, you're still a thief of stuff. I don't know what that stuff is, but whatever. And now the kid's like, all right, beep, boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, beep. Hi. Oh, yeah, it's me, Artemis Fowl, Jr. Is this still good for you? Like, is this still Gollum, Opal Lady? Okay, good. Okay, it's you. I thought maybe you disconnected the line after we defeated you. So we're coming for you.
We're coming to get you. Why? I don't know.
Because I'm a
you're
criminal mastermind.
Non-threatening, and I guess my dad is kind of an idiot to have been captured by you.
Right. Oh, my God. And then, so they get in a chopper. they fly out to where Diggum's been telling us this story the whole time. And Diggum's like, he pulls a fucking Kaiser Sose and he's like, little did you know, I was brought here on purpose because Artemis Fowl is a fucking genius. In your face, Buster. And they fly him out of there and the fucking credits roll. And I'm going, what the shit?
Yep.
Why was they like, it's all part of our plan was to give you Diggum to throw you off our scent, but also, yeah, there's a whole world of fairy folk, and we're not supposed to talk about it, but I wanted you to know, for fucking God, what? No, this doesn't make sense.
Well, the kid's a dickhead, obviously, and he just wants to brag about his fucking sweet ass shit.
But while Dame Judi Dench is down telling Scooter about the fucking task force, she's like, and I want you to work with the Artemis Fowls to keep fairy folk, keep the treaty in place that protects us and the humans, vice versa. And fucking Diggums is up there flapping his goddamn gums. It doesn't make sense.
No.
And it's just so we can have fucking narrative. You remember, Sam, did you ever see Slumdog Millionaire?
No.
I hated Slumdog Millionaire, and I still haven't forgiven Danny Boyle or the Academy for it. But basically, the plot of Slumdog Millionaire is this person's adventure in India. But the narrative sucks so bad. He's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and the Indian version of Regis is asking him, so, what are you here? What are you going to do with your millions? And then he tells the story of what he was up to, and they keep cutting back to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then the movie ends, and you're like, wait, why was he on? He was only on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire so he could fucking tell us a narrative? That's bad narrative! And the Academy gave him an award, and they did it again right here with Artemis Fowl.
I didn't give any awards to this shit.
Oh, we might.
We might give all the awards to this shit.
I don't know. I'm still going to go with my favorite part of this movie was when the kid got punched in the face.
Oh, I skipped that. Damn it, that's my favorite part of the movie. When she's getting out of fucking, he's like, I'll let you out, but can I trust you? And she's like, bop, right in the fucking head. Nope.
Dropped him like a hot rock.
Oh, that was my I could just put that on like one of those looping GIFs. Just bop, bop,
Yep.
bop, bop, bop. Oh, man. Okay, so, Sam, why the elves can't come inside? Because later, when she's out, the scooter shooter short, he's like, you're going to follow the rules, right? And she's this, I think it's the scene where he bops her, or she bops him. She's like, well, do you trust me to? So implying that that she has a choice to follow the rules or not. So they're not like, let the right one in.
They're straight up, they are bound to not enter his home by their own politeness.
Right?
The very survival of their race on the line. They can't go in there because it would be impolite.
See, they're not leprechauns then, because they can't be Irish, because they like the band Rush and they're super polite. These people are fucking Canadians.
I don't think the Canadians would like you saying that.
But they're so polite, they'd be like, hey, look, I don't really like the way you're talking about us right now, but I'm sorry to bring it up to you. I'm really sorry. They're very polite.
Yeah, I think that the Canadians would be like, sorry, but that Artemis Fowl movie you made was a total turd.
Now we got to take over your country because you suck. Please, Canada, come save us. Anyways, who wants
because they were like, yeah, we had Michigan for a while and we didn't like it, so we gave it back.
All right. Is there anybody, like, can we even ask questions here? Because
I have
it's all
one.
Question mark. Okay.
Has Judi Dench become a turd-seeking missile?
Man.
You know what? It just might be a cash grab at this point.
Well, I know, but there's got to be something else she can do. There's roles out there for old ladies. Not a ton, but fucking Diane Keaton did it for 100 years.
I don't know. Maybe she just stopped giving a damn. She's like, dude, for every one of these that I get a free Disneyland pass for the rest of my life for me and 4 friends.
A fast pass.
Yeah.
So she can get to the front of the line.
Yeah.
She's just like, I don't care that my career's in the toilet. I've got ice cream on my shirt and I'm on the Rocky Mountain Express.
Whee!
What was the last movie she was in that wasn't total shit?
I'm thinking.
I'm going to go with the James Bond movies.
Yeah, right. The last James Bond movie she was in where she was Q and died, or Emmon died.
That one was total shit.
Really, I like that one.
I do
I
too.
think there hasn't been. I think that. Wait, was that
Skyfall.
the one? Okay, Nightfall was fine. You're right.
Skyfall.
Okay. All right. Skyfall
Skyrim.
was all right.
Yeah, Skyrim was pretty good. Yeah, no, that one. Yeah, that's the last thing I can think of because it's just been just a string of fucking turds, and she's just a perennial SMAP contender now, which sucks because I like Jame Duty Jenj. She's probably a really nice person, you know. I'd like to hang out with her and just be like, "What are you doing? God damn it, Helen Mirren." I understand she was never really that good of an actress, but you, yeah.
And then she smacks you across the face with a bunch of money that she can't spend, and she's like, "I don't fucking care anymore. Look at this cash. I'm making it rain on you, and you're just some guy
in a basement. I'm fucking royalty, dickhead."
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right, I don't have anything, guys. I just am so vexed by this whole fucking thing. I mean, like, what the fuck were they thinking? Blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, no, it sucks. It sucks.
It's some bad casting calls,
Oh,
really.
just terrible casting.
And that kid was such a fucking dick.
Such a fucking dick.
But,
Like,
I've never read the book. Maybe he is a dick in the book.
I don't know.
But I thought
Actually-
Sam said he was just villainous.
Well, no. So the way that the book has described itself, kind of its back cover, basically, is that it's Die Hard with fairies.
Right?
This is not what we just watched.
No. This is dying with fairies. Dying slowly in a painful visual manner. You know, I guess it's nice that this is Harvey Weinstein's last film, though. You know, like, yeah.
His
suck
name
it,
should be on
Buster.
it. They
Yeah.
should put his name on
They
it.
should.
He
Fucking-
deserves that.
Fucking burn, buddy.
He should get the film by credit on
He
this
should
one.
get film by. Suck it. You suck. this
Whatever
film sucks.
the human race in the prison system can't do enough to you
Mhm.
to make things right, except for this one thing.
Legacy. Suck it. Okay, final recommendations. Starting with Jackie.
No.
No.
Just no. I wouldn't even watch this if I had diarrhea flu time.
Yeah, no, it's not a flu do.
No, it's a just straight up no.
Yeah. Sammy.
I think it's, if you want to see the biggest train wreck that's happened in the last 20 fucking years in cinema, you pretty much have to watch it because it's a fucking disaster.
It's a fucking disaster. It's a mess of shit. I can't give this a do. I just can't. This is a do
It's
not.
awful.
It's awful. I was trying to think, like, afterwards, like, I knew you were going to say something along those lines, Sam. And I was thinking, wow, hey, they still make movies this bad. But there's always a movie every year that we see that we say, wow, they still make movies this bad. But a lot of them were like, holy crap, that was an amazing bad experience. You know, like Great Wall, the one last year, Serenity, like shockingly bad. This is just, what could we compare this to?
World of
Warcraft the movie.
Yeah, Warcraft the movie,
And-
that's about it.
It's 100 times worse. And I scorched Warcraft for being the pinnacle of setting the table without making a movie. This is 10 times worse than that.
It is. It really...
They were setting the table so hard that the movie wasn't going to start until the 4th Artemis Fowl movie.
Exactly. Like, fuck, man, this is, it's insane. It's insane. But I can't give it a do.
Well, and it's boring as fuck.
It's boring
This
as
should be, I mean, with the idea that's supposed to be behind it, right? This should be an incredibly, like, fast-paced, you know, but you can't even get behind a single character.
You can't get behind any of it. The
No.
action sequences suck. I mean, like again, going back to the Great Wall, that's a blast. and it's as stupid a plot as this. But man, it's fucking fun because something actually happens. They don't say the alien monsters are going to climb this wall and eat us, and then the alien monsters end up just going to Taco Bell, which is what happens in this movie. The time bubble is collapsing, run! And then nothing happens. Like, fuck you. Oh my God. So do not. That's your podcast, guys. Next week, we are off. We're going to go camping, so there will be a rerun episode. I don't know which one, but you'll have something to listen to if you want to listen to an episode we've already done. And then the week after that, we'll be back. It's Sam's pick. What you got?
The Nest.
The Nest. I don't know what The Nest is.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
We previewed it a couple weeks ago. It's a goopy.
Okay.
And it was like halfway through, I was like, this is my next pick.
Okay.
So we will have a good one coming up.
The Nest. What year is The Nest from? So everybody can...
It's 89, 90, something like that.
Okay. All
Maybe
right.
92. Maybe
All right.
92. I don't know. It's in that late 80s, early 90s. When right before horror went all PG-13.
Oh,
It's one of the last goopies, and it's one of the worst I've ever seen.
All right. Well, you got 2 weeks to prepare and watch that, fam. So go do that. The Nest on Netflix. And in the meantime, get to the chopper.
Fans of Stinker Madness, iTunes thinks you don't like us. What? How is that possible? Well, it's because you haven't given us a review yet. Go to Stinker Madness on iTunes and take just a couple seconds to rate and review us there. While you're at it, hit up Stitcher.com as well. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter @/Stinker Madness and email us at talk@stinkermadness.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening and get to the chopper.